But the ice challenge. What do you guys think about this ice challenge right now?
I think it's just a way to get attention.
You like it?
I like it.
I think it's stupid.
I think it had good intentions at first, and now it's become so blown up that there's spin-off challenges, fire challenges, cinnamon challenges.
But the thing is, those challenges were those are just part of the
Those
internet.
were pointless.
But the thing is, like, I understand what he's saying. Like, basically, because I was talking to him earlier, and I looked up the original video of why this even started. And it has an amazing cause behind it. This guy was an athlete. He was a baseball player.
But
Do we know his name?
In a lot of posts, I see
forgot his
things
name.
saying you have to do it or else you have to pay to charities. Like, it shouldn't be like or else. It just sounds like people are doing it to get out of paying money to like an organization. That sounds sounds like people are doing it.
No, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do the challenge and donate money.
Yeah, but that's not what
doing
people are doing now.
Well,
now it's just like
the general public is kind of making it about themselves, and like people actually donating the money, they're donating money and just putting it on the web for other people to follow it. It shouldn't matter about an ice challenge. It should say you should donate money to this foundation. They're trying to help people. Yeah. They are helping. That's the point of the ice challenge.
They have to have an angle, the ice challenge.
The reason the ice challenge came to play is because the person who had this issue, was it Lou Gehrig's?
Yeah, Lou Gehrig's.
ALS, yeah.
He saw the ice challenge and he thought it was funny and it was cool, so he challenged his friends to it. Now it's become so convoluted and everyone's more people are informed about what ALS is. They're doing research of what is it? It looks fun. I think it needs no, the ice challenge itself, not the disease. But I mean, like, I think it needs to move on. I think it needs to expand to something. I mean, let's look at another topic right now that's hit mainline recently, and that's depression. With the death of Robin Williams. You get half these people saying, "Oh, he killed himself. It's suicide. He's a coward. He's wrong." He didn't die of suicide. He died of depression. Depression is a disease in itself. It plagues everybody.
And he fought the good fight too. Really,
suicide is a symptom of depression.
Of course. And what sucks about suicide too is you could be not depressed about anything. You can have a perfectly fine life. You could be happy and dandy, and everything's perfect. But for some reason, you have these emotions that you can't control. You feel sad for no particular reason. It's a disease. And people, I don't think, recognize it that much because they think, oh, he's just depressed. He doesn't take his life. Like, oh, well,
you don't know you're sick when you're depressed.
No, you just think you're sad.
You just think, yeah, I'm down. This is only happening
to
me.
But something's wrong. Like, I'm not saying like that you guys are wrong at all. But when you're depressed and when you're like really depressed, you know something's wrong. You know it's not going right. And that's one of the reasons why I get strung out so because you know it's wrong, but you don't have the energy to like take care of yourself and get yourself out of that.
It's not always like that though. Because like Robin Williams' case, he was depressed, but no one really freaking knew. People who've been following this guy their whole lives didn't know. Because when you see a depressed person puts up a screen, a shield, if you may, to block them out from everybody else, because the
he got paid for
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I'm saying for him, he knew, and it's something he knew.
And he didn't want. He felt so alone. That's the thing about depression. Takes many forms.
Here's the thing, though, too. I know how you're talking, but you really don't know how he felt.
No,
you can only make assumptions.
I'm only going off the assumptions of how my depression works.
Yeah, but I understand that too. But what I'm saying too, I think I do sympathize with Robin Williams. I grew up with this stuff. It's awesome. But here's the thing: people are feeling so much more like they have to be attached to the situation because it is Robin Williams. He's a happy man. He's a funny man. He was a very great person. But just because he was that doesn't give everyone an excuse. All of a sudden, now they understand what suicide and depression is.
No,
and that's what people.
And that's the message. The message is it's. I send prayers out to his family, and I hope they're doing well.
Yeah.
Over recent events I've heard over Twitter about his daughter being forced off Twitter because people are general dicks.
Yeah.
They trashed her, they trolled her, they treated her like crap. Yeah, she pulled her social media off because of these people saying these things.
Well,
what were they saying?
I have to pull it up.
Well, I want to know what you two think because us three have been talking a bunch. I want to hear what you two think about the situation. And I don't want to interrupt you guys.
About Robin Williams stuff.
The suicide thing, this whole thing.
Depression, suicide.
It's sad. The thing about it is too, like that I've kind of thought about is when something like this happens, like a star like commits legitimate suicide, like in his case, Robin Williams' case, it makes other people sad too. Like and it does raise awareness, and it's like really well if you really want to raise awareness. you need to really talk about that. And like when for example, don't ask someone how they're doing unless you really want to know. And maybe you should ask someone, how are you doing? Are you okay? Mental health is a big issue in the United States, huge issue, and that could even go into like gun control. You know what I mean? If you ever watched what is that, Fahrenheit 9/11, something like that. Yeah. They go to Canada and they talk to a lot of Canadians about their gun laws, and everybody in Canada has guns. They have more guns than us, pretty much, man. They are a gun crazy country, but how many deaths by shooting are there a year? You know what I mean? Over there, we have just as much guns over here, basically, and it's exponentially bigger. The deaths by gun and suicide as well. Owning a gun, doesn't mean you're going to commit suicide. The fact that you have a mental health issue, means that you're more likely to have that symptom of your disease, of that depression. There's a huge mental health issue in America. I don't know why.
We aren't taking care of
how many of those people aren't
diagnosed?
How
do you?
Well, I mean, there's
how many of those people aren't
because
diagnosed?
it costs money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really a lot of the thing with that sort of, I guess, area of expertise is a lot of the people that prescribe medications, these people get money, they just want it for the money. Like, I've seen psychologists and everything, and most of the time they just seem more focused on feeding pills to a lot of people, and not all of them are like that, of course, but most of them in that field, they seem more focused on giving you medications and diagnosing things to make them money rather than actually trying to help you out in the first place.
And there are other ways to help someone out.
It's kind of like the whole issue with marijuana versus topical medication, because medications like Zoloft and things like that, antidepressants, pain pills, they have side effects, and then you take more medication for those side effects, so on and so forth.
I'm a caregiver. I give a client a handful of pills every morning, every night. I've even shown Dave before. I give this client a handful of medication he takes every morning. He also takes a handful of medication at night that another staff gives him. These are they're psychotropic meds. These are meds for mood disorders. These are meds that sit there and they're damaging the liver. They get toxic. Taking divalproex is one of them. It's a mood stabilizer. Or, and it's just...
Ooh, someone that knows their shit.
But the thing is, I understand when it comes to medication, and there's clients that are so on meds, they're not living quality life, but the thing is, they're not thinking these thoughts of suicide, not thinking about hurting themselves. But the problem is, you got someone jacked up on meds, are they really enjoying themselves? People that are depressed kind of enjoy being depressed. They like being sad. And
you get addicted.
It's not that they like it, it's just that's what they know.
They know.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm sorry, there's been going on.
They figured out a certain way to handle the depression so they could function in at least the minor state of living.
Yeah.
And I understand, there's a lot of people that say, oh, I want to get, more sad, or I feel like I deserve to be more sad, but that's really just the depression talking. It's not what they actually want.
It's the sickness. That's
it's what that's talking. It's not...
You can say that about a few people. I mean, I wouldn't say about all people with depression that you had.
Yeah, of course. But
certain people probably do
Well,
that. That's how they deal with things. But,
Yeah.
I know when I was in the Marine Corps, we had a ton of briefs and all that about suicide awareness, and we had a bunch of suicides out in Japan.
They still have it now. I mean,
oh yeah.
Even
people get depressed being stuck on an island, and we're there for two plus years.
Like PTSD, it happens in a million different forms.
Yep.
Car accidents, traumatic experiences, anything that traumatizes a person mentally can cause PTSD. It doesn't have to be combat, doesn't have to be anything. It can be something small that you may view as nothing, but to them, it just jacked them up mentally.
Yeah, that didn't.
And the problem is we have so many cases of this, and we're nowhere near closer to treating it. But nowadays, I saw a documentary about marijuana, and this kid's got seizures, has 6-7 seizures a day, and had him all kinds of medication. Did nothing to help. They moved him to marijuana drops.
Yeah, and it's just
And
that
it
certain.
stopped.
It's just that certain chemical in marijuana. It's not the THC
No,
itself.
it's
the
not a chemical.
CBD, something like
CBD.
that. Yeah, and
or CBT, something like that. But that chemical pretty much dropped the seizures down to one a week or one a month.
Yeah.
But the problem is our governments in general, have so many personal I guess.
Well, you gotta understand this. It's kind of like a caste system. You gotta think about it. There's people that have their places in this caste system. And I know for a fact, because I work with clients, people that take medication. Now here's the thing, you got a client that's funded through this company, and it's the DD waiver. Okay, now the DD waiver, you know, it gets these clients like that, they have Social Security, they have all kinds of money and benefits they get. Now here's the thing, in order to keep these clients, we need to make sure that these clients are why they need to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. If they're perfectly fine and dandy, why are they in our program? So the thing is, you got to sit there and think, okay, so how are we going to make sure the clients are fine? We need to give them medication. They need to be on this medication. If they don't need a medication, who's making money now? They're losing money because clients aren't able to take their medication, or just regular people like us. We get medication given to us, we take it. But the problem is, when you don't need the medication anymore, of course you're going to lose a bit of money because that person doesn't need the medication anymore. So they need other people to continuously give this medication.
Yeah, you have to create that condition.
Yeah, you have to create something sometimes.
It's become so personal when it comes to helping people that they only do it to make themselves money. If you stop caring about money and start caring about helping people, you would see people get dropped off medication, people get change their medication and it actually helps them. Not just given, oh, you have a headache, take some freaking Vicodin.
Yeah.
That's the way it works nowadays. Most times you don't need to see a doctor to get Vicodin. You can just walk into a pharmacy with an old ass freaking prescription. You know, they'll give it to you. Someone's getting money for that.
Yep.
We're so desensitized to the suffering of other people that we don't care about them anymore.
Well, how many guys have you experienced before? I go to the doctor sometimes. You go for a certain condition or something's going on with you, and the doctor's with you for maybe like 5 minutes, and then you're done. You're diagnosed, you're fine, you're done. Well, they're not sitting there asking you questions.
They have you what they do is they have you fill out this little form, a 2-page form. You know, scale from 1 to 10 type thing, and then they don't even like sit there and talk to you. They just say, okay, here's pen and paper, write it down.
Yeah, and there's no more personal like.
And they decide what kind of medication you need from that questionnaire. That doesn't work like. It shouldn't work like that. I miss the days like I don't even know why I was alive.